Good evening, all. You're welcome to our online lectures on pharmacology. Today, we'll take a look at sources of drugs. Sources of drugs. From time immemorial, historically, drugs were discovered or derived from plants, mainly from plants. So, plants are the oldest sources of what? Drugs. So, but presently, we have other sources of drugs. Some drugs are sourced microbiologically, some drugs are sourced biotechnologically, some drugs are sourced from animal, some drugs are synthesized. So basically, we have two categories of sources of drugs. The first category is the traditional sources. The second category is the orthodox sources. So under the traditional sources, we have the sources like plants, animals, mineral sources or earth. And we have microbiological sources. These are under traditional sources, and they are basically natural sources. Now let's pick them one after the other. After which we go over to orthodox sources. Now, for plants, as I said before now, plants are the oldest natural source of drugs. So, plant is the oldest natural source of drugs. So, in ancient times, most drugs were sourced from plants. Almost all parts of plants are sources of drugs. You see parts of plant like leaves, stem, bark, fruits, even the roots. So drugs are sourced from these parts of plants. All right, for example now, a drug like digoxin used in the treatment of heart failure, congestive heart failure, is sourced from the leaves of Digitalis purpurea. It's a plant. So from this plant, digoxin, the leaves of the plant, digoxin is sourced. Okay, another one is eucalyptus. In fact, eucalyptus is one of the components is used in cough remedies, cough syrups. Examples where of the plant where this eucalyptus is sourced from is actually from the leaves of eucalyptus itself. Eucalyptus. So eucalyptus oil is from where? Eucalyptus. From the leaves of eucalyptus. As you can see, different parts of plants give rise to 1, 2, 3, or even more drugs. Okay, another one I want to look at is tobacco. Tobacco is a plant. The leaves of tobacco is the source of nicotine. The leaves of tobacco is the source of nicotine. Okay, another one is Atropa belladonna. Atropa belladonna is the source of drug atropine. Atropa belladonna is the source of the drug atropine. Okay, another one is the popular castor oil. Castor oil. Castor oil is sourced from the seed. From the seed of castor oil plants. The one we have, another one here we have is the physiostigmine. Physiostigmine is a drug that is sourced from a plant known as Calabar beans. Calabar beans. Physiostigmine is sourced from Calabar beans. Okay, another one very popular among us is the is the one used in treatment of malaria. Artemisinin. From artemisinin, we have other derivatives. We still go over to semi-synthetic drugs. Then we now understand what happens in this artemisinin. But actually, artemisinin is the natural one that is sourced from a plant known as Artemisinin annua. It's an anti-malaria. In fact, is the basis for the artemisinin combination therapy (ACT). So artemisinin is sourced from Artemisinin annua. Okay, another one is rezapine. Rezapine is a drug. It's sourced from Rauwolfia sepatina. Rauwolfia sepatina. From this plant, rezapine is derived. Then quinine for malaria. Quinine for malaria is sourced from cinchona, a plant known as cinchona, the bark of cinchona plant. Remember, I said that these drugs are sourced from different parts of plants, some from the leaves, some from the bark, the stem, the root, even the seed. So quinine is sourced from the bark of cinchona. So these are some of examples of drugs from plant sources. These are some examples of drugs from plant sources. There are many of them. You can do more research on that. Please, as you study this, study specifically the part of plant you can get this drug. All right, so that will be all for plants. Let's look at another traditional sources of drug. Animal source. Animal source. So drugs are sourced from different organs of animals. Different organs of animals. Something like cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is from the liver of codfish. Cod liver oil is from the liver of codfish. Another one is insulin, specifically porcine insulin. Porcine insulin is from pigs. Is from pigs. Yes, animal source. We source it from pigs, but by the time we go over to biotechnological source, you now see how through recombinant DNA recombinant technology, you now see how this is sourced. How this is sourced. All right, so let's continue. But basically, porcine insulin is from pig, while bovine insulin is from cows. Is from cows. There are many other drugs you can source from animal. Now let's look at drugs from mineral or earth, mineral sources or earth. Most of the drugs we call minerals, whether micro or macro, are from these mineral sources. Examples of such drugs are, you see, our iron. Iron is a very important drug when we talk of what? Iron deficiency anemia. Iron deficiency anemia, because hemoglobin, a very important component of hemoglobin, is the heme, and that heme is the iron core. So iron is vital in the synthesis of hemoglobin. So in iron deficiency, not all anemia are as a result of iron deficiency. Please let us note that. But this is not a topic for today. But just know that iron is used for the treatment of iron deficiency anemia. So this iron is gotten from where? Is gotten from iron is the elemental iron. So it serves as a supplement in treatment of what? Iron deficiency anemia. Then zinc. Zinc, we know we use zinc as zinc supplements. We use zinc as zinc itself. Zinc sulfate, as case may be, used as what? Zinc supplement. In children with diarrhea, not just only in children, children, as you try to rehydrate, then you also add zinc for the treatment. Now another one is zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is very important in wounds and even in eczema. So as you can see, these things are minerals. These things are mineral. Iron, zinc, they are all mineral. Even iodine. Iodine is very important. Of course, you know about the antiseptic properties of iodine in wound treatment and other things. Even gold salt is used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. So gold is also a drug sourced from gold itself. So these things I've called out, they are all minerals and they are elemental. Okay. So another source I want us to look at is the microbiological sources. The microbiological sources. Okay. In fact, from the work of Fleming, through serendipity, we discovered penicillin. So penicillin is sourced from microorganisms, specifically fungi group, molds. So we have for microbes, penicillin came from Penicillium nonatum. Even chloramphenicol from Streptomyces venezuelae. Glycofulvine antifungal. Chloramphenicol is an antibiotic. Penicillin antibiotic. Glycofulvine antifungal is from Penicillium glycofulivum. Penicillium glycofulivum. Neomycin is also an antibiotic. It's from sourced from microorganisms too. Streptomyces rhabei. There are many of them. So that's from this thing I explained now. We also have you agree with me that microbiologically drugs can be sourced. Microbiologically, drugs can also be sourced. Now, these things I've talked about, specifically from plants, animal, mineral, and the microbiological, they are all traditional sources of drugs. They are all what? Traditional sources of drugs. Now, let's go over to the orthodox. The orthodox source of drugs. Under this orthodox, we have the synthetic and we have the semi-synthetic. We have the synthetic and we have the semi-synthetic. Now, what do we mean by, let me start from the semi-synthetic. What do we mean by these drugs? Like, for example, now artemisinin now from artemisinin annua, it has through structural elucidation, the structure has been made clear. So the structure of artemisinin has been made clear. Now, if each of this structure, they have what is called the nucleus, or the skeleton, the main, you can call it the core or the nucleus. You now start having different substituents or different groups attached to the nucleus. Now, if the nucleus of a particular natural drug is not tampered with through chemical processes, if the nucleus is not changed, maybe the substituent groups, methyl group removed, then they will study the structure and activity relationship and see whether there will be improved activity of the drug. They keep doing that in changing the substituent group. They can remove the methyl group, they can add the propyl group, different, your organic chemistry. If the nucleus is not touched, and all these things we are done to come up with a better. Now, any drug from source in that manner is a semi-synthetic drug because the nucleus natural drug is maintained. Look at this artemisinin now. This artemisinin Currently, artemisinin is natural from plant, artemisinin annua. Currently, we have anti-malaria, some anti-malaria in the market, an anti-malaria like dihydroartemisinin. As you can see now, dihydroartemisinin. The nucleus of the artemisinin is maintained, but substance groups, hydrogen groups, attached, dihydro. We now from artemisinin, we now have dihydroartemisinin. What it means is that dihydroartemisinin is a semi-synthetic. It's semi-synthetic. In the market, we have dihydroartemisinin plus piperacin, different a fixed dose combination of dihydroartemisinin and piperacin. There are many brands in the market today. But we have artemisinin itself. Then we now have this. So dihydroartemisinin is semi-synthetic. Is what? Semi-synthetic. Heroin is also what? Semi-synthetic. Heroin is also what? Semi-synthetic. The core is maintained, just the substrate group is changed. Now, so this is what we mean by semi-synthetic drugs. Now, let's look at synthetic drugs. In synthetic drugs, nothing is maintained. That's a new drug is from different elements, different reactants. They get different reactants, react them to be able to synthesize a particular molecule that has activity in the body. So when they do that, they will now do structure activity relationship to check if this drug has the activity for. If it has it, wonderful, eureka, it becomes a new drug after having passed through different clinical trials, preclinical and clinical trials, as case may be. Now, natural source drug from natural source also, they can study the structure of a drug from natural source, and if the structure of the drug from natural source is studied, in that same drug can be synthesized in the lab, can be synthesized to produce the same drug. But this one now is not natural, it's synthetic, because it is synthesized from component different reactants. So that's why it's called what? Synthetic. So in synthetic, the core is not maintained. The core is not what? Maintained, or the nucleus of the molecule is not maintained. All right, there's one I missed in orthodox. The third one is what? Is what? From genetic engineering.